How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week. Is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday? Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. What? My stream deck does not want to work, so I'm gonna have to restart my stream deck. In the meantime, let me change the screens manually, bringing down the volume and changing the scenes. How's everyone doing? Hopefully these buttons are working. Oh, what? Now my screen's blank. Oh, maybe it was working. And hold up, go to full screen, and oh, there you go. I turned off. Huh, weird. Okay, never mind. It was working. I just was on the wrong page. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Brand new week. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful start to your week. I decided to not go into the office today. I was a little bit more busy with other stuff in life, so I said, you know what, take the day off and we'll go tomorrow. Also, it's a short week in the market. I'm not really expecting the market to do a whole lot, and boy was I wrong on that side. Market absolutely went crazy. It went ape shit. First we gapped lower, and then a complete reversal on the market, right back to the upside. So a beautiful move on the market, showing you that the buyers are still very much interested to take the market back up. However, going into the after hours over here, we did get some more bad news about the whole Middle East tension and the Middle East scare. Basically, Trump giving out a warning sign, telling people to be careful, to evacuate Tehran, which is Iran. Basically telling people to evacuate a city in Iran, and not good signs. And this was about an hour ago. Does this mean you can see all the images already down over here? I know what's about to happen. He's probably warning them about Israeli attacks, which is what I think is exactly the right thing. This is what I think is happening. But there is a chance that U.S. brings out their military power. The U.S. bomber comes out and absolutely does devastating work over there on the Middle East. So we'll see. Hopefully nothing bad overall comes out of this, but the market obviously reacting to this and pushing to the downside at the time of that tweet going out right around an hour ago. So not what you really want to see on this. So far we had great moves, and you can see how after hour we basically gave back the whole day's momentum and pushed right back into the day's low. Hopefully we don't go all the way back to the downside. That's gonna suck even more. But this, I believe, the gap up is actually not the market gapping up itself. It's more so, if I remember correctly, that should be the futures contract just rolling over, giving it a little gap up. I think that's what this is. Either way, market did have a good green day today, and we'll see how other stocks position themselves and how we can take advantage of these stocks tomorrow. Also, quickly want to mention, you know, the VIX went back to the downside, and now expecting the VIX to go back up with the after hour news. So just keep an eye on what the VIX is doing. There was an interesting rule that I learned today listening to the Revere Asset YouTube videos, that apparently there is a 16 rule of 16 or something, which is you take the current number where the VIX is at the moment, and you divide it by 16, and that is expected to be where the VIX will be in 30 days. So maybe something to keep an eye on, potential trading strategy out of that one. You know, anytime the VIX pops up, you basically look for options trades on that, and if you do, potentially can use the 16-day divided by 16 or something, that the Revere Asset, Don Vandenborg, the CEO, I believe, was talking about in today's video. If you guys have not heard about Revere Asset Management, awesome channel on YouTube, and awesome guys on Twitter also, so go check them out. But we're here to talk about what markets potentially going to give us opportunities tomorrow. What type of day trades can we take advantage on? And sadly, nothing really in the earnings board kind of stands out for us. Earnings board's a little dead, and it's going to start looking more dead going forward until the next earnings season starts back again. So that's gonna suck. But we do have a couple names that we have traded previously. For example, Jawbill, Lazy Boy. Not sure if any of the other names even ring bell to my head at the moment. No, they don't ring bell at all. But if they have volatility, if they have volume, then you know, the two V's, then for sure I'll be interested to take a look at it. You have Corn Ferry. Is that the wait, isn't that the golf tournament, Corn Ferry, or is this a company who sponsors the Corn Ferry Golf Tournament? I'm not sure how it works out, but either way, Corn Ferry, KFOI, maybe something to keep an eye out for Wednesday. But Wednesday is more important because we got two big IPOs. Well, I shouldn't say big, but decently sized IPOs coming out on Wednesday. And if you guys have seen my streams recently, you guys know how good IPOs were and how profitable of a setup they have been recently. So very excited for the IPOs coming out Wednesday. Make sure you tune into the stream tomorrow to learn about those. But right now, nothing in the after hour board. I guess you could say LEN, the Lennar Home Builder, potentially going to the downside. Ooh, nice little pop in the after hour after its earnings report. But recently, home builders have been taking you know, a beating, especially because of tariffs, because of inflation. You know, Restoration Hardware, not really a home builder, but a very good indicator for home building stocks. And RH has been struggling overall too. So LEN just part of the part of that basket for me and has been dropping. Home Depot, you could say, is part of that basket, but it's been a little bit better than the other home builder kind of basket stocks. It's still around its 200-day moving average, but still below like the whole basket overall. So LEN, surprised to see the pop. Not sure if the earnings report is bullish enough. Do we need to look at the earnings report? I mean, that looks like a very lackluster, no volume at all. Didn't even push into last week's high area. Not sure if there's any real trade here tomorrow. And if the market does sell off, I could easily see this pushing back down and maybe even lower. So potentially worth keeping an eye on LEN, but I don't think it's worth going through deep into exactly how they reported. So sadly, no earnings names for us to take a look at. If you guys have any names you want me to take a look at for tomorrow, put it in the chat, and obviously we'll quickly scan through them. I did not day trade today, so I don't really have stocks to show to you, which means the stream might be extremely small today. We're just gonna go through some of the hot movers on the day from Center Point. Usually these are the names along with a couple extra sprinkled names like Palantir, for example. Palantir had a monster day today, another run up to the north side. Sadly not able to hold above VWAP. Palantir is basically a defense name and is in the basket of stocks that are supposed to technically go up anytime war tensions, like right now Middle East war tensions, is expected. So you're seeing how RTX is doing that exactly in the after hours over here. We're pushing back into the first day of the news, the strike news move high, and you're watching RTX basically spike back to the north side in that direction. So LMT might be another one to keep an eye on. What's another one? Northman Group, NH. Is that the ticker for Northman Group? NNG. What's the fucking ticker for this company? I don't even know how you spell the company, to be honest. I don't even know how the company's name spelled properly. Either way, all the defense names will be on watch, and Palantir is basically an AI defense name, so it makes sense that this one's continuing to go to the upside. A couple other stocks that rallied today. Robinhood had a good day. Love to see Robinhood going higher. Shopify completely reversed back. That's not what you want to see, but you know, I was very upset watching Shopify go to the upside, and I was like, oh man, I missed the train on Shopify, but I caught the train on Tempest, TEM AI. So TEM actually continuing to go back to the upside, looking pretty bullish, holding the 5-day moving average. That one's pretty good. Uranium ETF, baby, nice gap up on the uranium ETF. That's something that I'm holding on to. Watching that one gap up makes me happy. I added to Amazon a little bit, but obviously today's market moved back to the downside. There we go. That's exactly what I'm expecting Amazon to do. Give me some pain, Amazon. Exactly what I was expecting Amazon to do. And Palantir, hopefully, you know, continues to keep going higher, doesn't really pull back. BA, Tesla, Intel, DJT, Nvidia. John wants to go through all of those big names. These are sadly, John, most of the time just whatever the market does. I mean, Intel, not a name for anyone to really even care about, in my opinion. It's just a useless name at this point. Completely dead name. Investors are not caring about it. They don't really have any good news at all. At the end of the day, I mean, how many computers have Intel chips in them? Probably 70%. But still, investors don't want to buy Intel at all. So that's saying something. However, you're getting the 200-day moving average now, getting to exactly where the stock is. Sometimes not a bad idea to potentially start accumulating some in the support area, looking for a bigger move up north if Intel does change their behavior and get their act together. But clearly, you know, that's not what they've been doing. Intel's story has been sucking for quite some time now, and if that story continues, then I don't want to be involved in this name at all. Why would I want to be putting my money in Intel for a swing trade, for a you know, even an investment? If you really want to be investing into Intel or in the semiconductor name, then make sure it's above at least the 200-day moving average. For example, Nvidia above the 200-day moving average and looking like it wants to rally. Another name that I bought today, and sadly the market moving back down with this whole Middle East strike is going to probably go back into the red for me. So that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with, and maybe I'll have to hold it a little bit against me. I'll have to trail it against today's low, see if the stock actually gets below today's low, which is like, well, 143, 140, which is also earnings anchored VWAP. So I'll have to analyze some of these variables to manage my positions. This is why sometimes it's better to buy on the dip instead instead of taking it on the breakout. Sometimes it's better to take it on the breakout instead of buying on the dip. So it's just, you know, you gotta weigh your pros and cons, figure out what setup you're applying to what stock, and then pray that Middle East doesn't start popping fireworks right as your market and your account starts to recover. But you know, a lot of stocks that I do have in the account did go up today and look good for the most part, so I can't complain. Dell, another one. If Dell ever actually breaks out of this consolidation, that would be amazing because I want to add to the position. But at the moment, Dell's struggling and not really looking too bullish overall. DJT, not sure if DJT is a name to keep an eye on for any means. If anything, you know, maybe worth watching for a short because it looks like it's getting smoked at the moment. Nice little breakdown of some sort of you know, you can call this a bouncy ball over here. It's way too small of a bouncy ball, but it still has that bouncy ball feel and pattern to it. And breaking right below 20, looks like the stock has a date with the $15, $16 area, and it's bringing in volume as it's going lower. So that's telling you that you got, you know, more shorts piling in, and at the same time you got the longs actually punching out or getting stopped out. Either or, it doesn't matter. They're punching out of their position, so you're seeing longs jump out and potentially shorts piling in also. So nice little volume spike over here on the way to the downside, which is obviously telling me that it's got a date with that $16, $15, $50 area for DJT. So not sure if that's something you're interested to hear, because you might be long on this one, and sadly it's not looking good, right? Again, below the 200-day moving average, not looking healthy at all. And what does the company even do? Why is my dog going crazy? What does the company even do? They do nothing. They have a social media platform, sure. They've been talking about being involved in Bitcoin, sure. But, I mean, what do they really even do, right? At this point, the only people who use this social media platform are Republicans and Donald Trump. And anyone who trades the stock market who wants to track what Donald Trump is saying. Because usually, Donald Trump first posts on Truth social media these days, and then it goes on Twitter. So if you're a day trader, you know, you want to be involved into what Donald Trump is saying, because that moves the market, and sometimes it happens on Truth social media before anywhere else. So that's one of the reasons why I had to open an account. But besides that, I never had a reason to use Truth social media, and I for sure as hell will not be spending any money on that platform if they ever ask me to. So it's just one of those most useless platforms for me. But when it comes to the stock, I mean, is the stock reflecting healthy to you? It's showing you lower highs, and it looks like it's just gonna break back to the downside. So I'm not seeing anything too bullish at the moment, but it would be moving right back into 52-week lows and very close to all-time lows too. All-time low is around $9, 52-week low is around $11, and the most recent low is around $15.50. So very close to most likely going back to that SPAC level 10, SPAC area 15, and then find some support over there, at which point maybe it's worth taking a shot in the dark for a long, to like get long and see if it can hold 10 and bounce from that. But I don't think it's that type of a trade anymore. It's just not a reverse SPAC anymore. Now it's a legitimate company on the stock market, legitimate company in air quotes. So I don't think that $10 trade plays on the stock going forward. The other stock you said was Boeing. Yeah, Boeing is interesting because of the Air India deal, the airplane crashing in Air India. Honestly, I don't know exactly what happened. I never looked into it. I know that it happened, you know, but I never looked into it. I never. Kind of staying away from the whole topic because I didn't want to get too biased into a trade. So I stayed away from the whole topic on that. But overall, you know, it's not a good thing that it's a Boeing plane. It's not a good thing that people died. It's not a good thing that people lost their lives. I think everyone but one person lost their life on that flight. If anyone knows in the chat, maybe you can educate me. It's before takeoff or during landing or something that happened. So devastating, obviously, not a good thing to see. But anytime that happens, that's gonna obviously bring down the plane maker and potentially also the stock of the company flying the flight. I'm not sure how or Air India, if they're even public on the Indian market or not, how they reacted, but it's pretty clear how Boeing reacted over here. A drop right back into the earnings VWAP, showing a little bit of a support around the earnings VWAP at the moment. They had a pretty good bullish earnings report, nice breakout of inverse bouncy ball field. This is exactly what DJT's chart looked like, but on the flip side, right? And you can see how DJT broke out and was continuing to the downside. This did the exact same thing over here. It had that inverse bouncy ball, it broke out, and it continued to keep going higher and higher and higher. And now after that news, it finally stopped breaking out. Now it's taking a breather and bringing in buying above previous resistances. So that's pretty bullish if you ask me. I mean, the news is bearish, but finding buying anywhere above this area is overall bullish, and maybe a chance for a dip buy, a leg number 2, especially if the stock goes all the way back into this, whatever this line is, 190. That's where the 50-day moving average is at the moment. You can see how the 50-day moving average is now on a moving incline. The 200-day moving average is also about to start inclining to the upside. If you were to rate that incline from 0 to 10 to the bullish side, it's about at a 1 or a 2 at best, maybe not even 2, at a 1, right? So the steeper the incline, the more bullish or extended, I guess you could say, the stock is really getting, honestly. But at the moment, finding support above the 50-day moving average will be interesting on Boeing. Another defense name, I think you can say Boeing kind of comes into that aerospace and defense sector, but also commercial airlines. So finding support above the earnings VWAP above 190, I think it's still in a healthy trajectory to the upside. Getting weak below 190 on Boeing would basically kill this whole move over here, and would invalidate all of the buying that took place, and then it would have to kind of prove another part after. Like, are the buyers able to step up above the 200-day? Are we able to find sellers in this area and then prove the sellers wrong, at which point then you might have another different trajectory to the upside? So just different scenarios, different patterns. Just watching stocks from hours and hours and hours, just picking up on patterns on the stock over here, or not just the stock, in stocks in general. Show me an investor in Intel and I'll show you a user of Geritol. What the hell is that, TH? Do I Google this? What in the heck? Is a brand of dietary supplements that has been around since 1950, known for its multivitamin and iron content. It is marketable as a way to support energy levels and overall health. So basically, like, what is that thing called, Herbalife? Is this Herbalife before Herbalife was Herbalife? That's what this is? It sounds like it. Of course, Josh would laugh. Josh knows, like, he knows what this is. I got TH and Josh enjoying some boomer jokes over here. Tonic for old people. I love it. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Intel doesn't really have a lot of love, right? Intel doesn't have a lot of love on the market. If you're watching the semiconductor sector, SMH, for example, or SOXX, the semiconductor sector is actually joining the market back to the all-time high trajectory. SMH, SOXX, which is another one. SOXL is another one. Well, XOXL is like a leverage one, but SMH and SOXX. SOXX, actually, if you look at this, that's a nice little flag after breaking out. So breaking out of this little area, and then you might even be able to get a bit of extension move over here. SMH. Okay, so if the market is, or not the market, if the semiconductor sector is doing this, and you know, let me show you what AMD is doing. And if AMD is doing that, bringing in a high volume node, 100 million shares traded on AMD, and the first time since August 2024 that it has traded above the 200-day moving average. Now that's a pretty bullish semiconductor name. This is what you want to see from a semiconductor stock. Instead, you have, I mean, we can go to the monthly chart here. Oh, what? Oh no, that's INTC. We can go to the 1 month chart here. This is the stock on 1 month. Okay, that's so sad. This is the stock on the yearly. That's so sad. If you're comparing it to the same time period as AMD from last year, we are below where the stock was in October and last year, whereas AMD is you know, actually still below from where it was last year, but above the 200-day moving average. So AMD very, very strong. Nice little, you could say undercut and rally, because it did drop below the 9 EMA, but it did bounce off the 21 EMA on the daily chart. Also found support right off the earnings VWAP over here. The most bullish thing is the fact that it's able to close for the first time since last year above the 200-day moving average. So now AMD gets very interesting. You also have price targets on AMD for $140. It's around 126. With the market sell off today into the after hours, most likely AMD selling back down, but might just be a dip buy opportunity on the lows tomorrow. If AMD is able to show support above 123, I'm interested for both my accounts, for the day trade, for the swing trade, and all types of fun on that name. There you go, up 8% on Piper Sandler, raising the price target to 180 bucks. And this is what more you want to see from a semiconductor name. Nvidia, look at how bullish Nvidia looks. AVGO potentially getting ready for a move to all-time high again. SMCI, not really a semiconductor name. ASML, maybe something to show you. MRVL is actually a good one to show you. Okay, maybe not. I thought MRVL was one of the ones that, oh, Micron. It was Micron, not MRVL. ON is also a semiconductor name that has been, you know, catching some traction recently, but still below its 200-day moving average. And last example, again, Intel, not what you want to see, but it is trying to, you know, create a very, very, very solid base around $18. So if you are interested in some sort of a long on Intel, I'm not sure why you would be. You could potentially buy around 18, buy around 20, and pray that Intel goes to $40-50 in 2-3 years. In that meantime, you could have made the same amount of return just by going long Tesla, just by going long you know, Nvidia, just by going long maybe even SMCI. So I'm just not sure why Intel would be the driving seat, right? The driving seat. Going down, some of the hot movers on the day today. SRM, a big mover. Small cap names are going absolutely crazy, especially in the oil name. And I think tomorrow we'll see the oil sector in play again, given the Tehran Israel conflict again spiking up. There was a trade right here for the high a day breakout on SRM. Beautiful long opportunity for you to scalp in, getting long around what, 630, and you get a chance to exit around 10. And if you're an even better trader, you get to get long around 5. you're risking a move below 4, and then you're adding above 650, and you're riding the stock into potentially even where it goes tomorrow. Swing it, baby. Who knows? A couple other stocks that moved today. Circle broke its all-time high, gapped up. Insane. I didn't even see that. I just heard that it went higher. So Circle creating a nice little base and gapping up higher. If my buddy is still in this name, shout out to him. If not, then he's gonna be very upset watching this stock go to the upside. Let's see where Core Viva is. Wow, Core Viva actually looking like it wants to rip again. So that's a name to keep an eye on for sure. And we talked about this quite a bit, right? This was supposed to go parabolic. It didn't. Maybe it's got another opportunity to go parabolic very soon. It's been 80 days since the stock IPO'd. It's got another 100 days for the IPO expiry period to open up, which is basically the IPO lockup. So for sure interested on that day, but still got quite some time for that to show up. Quantum names moving to the north side today. QUBT breaking out, but if I check QBTS, they actually went to didn't do too much, but they did go higher. Also IonQ did go up a little bit. RGTI, what did you do today? You also spiked up, but biggest spike was on QUBT. So QUBT monster spike over there, potentially worth keeping an eye on. This one today's midpoint right around $19.50. If the stock does show support above that, maybe worth keeping an eye on for a day 2. But I am expecting the stock to gap up tomorrow and open up higher. So you know, you might not even get a chance to buy around today. VWAP 19.50, 19 bucks. I'm expecting it to gap up and open higher. So just keep an eye on it anyways. QUBT, RGC, insane stock split and then still running higher. So these lines were actually pre-stock split lines around, like, I want to say like 200, 300, 800, somewhere ridiculous, right? And now this is after split. The stock is still above these areas. It's at 80 bucks. This is basically, now the stock is at like $200 something. Their market cap would now be like in the billions. Like, what are we talking about? This is ridiculous. This stock is absolutely nuts. How much volume did the stock trade today? 5 million shares traded today, and went from $20, or I should say $30 to $80. What are we watching over here, man? I don't even know what's going on in this name. It's gonna probably have another stock split at this rate if it keeps going into 200, 300, 500. I think it went to $800 last time. So if it goes back into there, it'll have another stock split, and it'll be the most legendary name that the stock has ever. I've never seen anything like that. You know, HKD did do something crazy. DJT, or was it DWAC, did do something crazy back in the day, but I've never seen something like RGC. That's insane. LMT down on you know, apparently de-escalation, but clear re-escalation over here. So not looking good at the moment. So LMT potentially giving you some longs, but I'm most likely watching the other defense names like Palantir, RTX, the cheaper price. LMT is a little expensive and also doesn't really have good liquidity, so I'm not really that interested in LMT as a day trade, but always going to keep an eye on it to see how the basket of stocks are moving. Robinhood, we talked about that really quick. Robinhood had a nice good day today, moving back to the upside, and if this range high breaks, I might keep an eye on Robinhood to add for that move into all-time high. I mean, it is a little extended, I guess. You could say it is a little too far away from, let me turn on this bad boy. A little too far away from the 50-day moving average. Just 7 ATRs away, or 8 ATRs away from the 50-day moving average. 36% away from the 50-day moving average. And I guess it's not that extended, but it's very close to getting extended. So if we do get that breakout, I might just add on this name. I don't think we're going to get that breakout tomorrow, but I'm going to continue to watch it. Good hold of the 9-day EMA right now on Robinhood, and one of my most positioned name in my portfolio. RDW looking good, going back to the upside. PL, not really looking good. PL looking sad at the moment, but honestly this is a EP, right? This is now letting the EMAs catch up. So if it's continue to stay above 5, which was my goal, as long as it stays above 5, I'll be happy, and I'll look to even add to the dips on this name. PL is my EP over here. RDW looking good, continue to keep going higher. Voyager was a recent IPO. Wow, okay, not bad. CHYM, how are you doing currently? CHYM also trying to go back up, another recent IPO. And then tomorrow we have 2 new IPOs to talk about, so make sure you tune in tomorrow 8 o'clock. That will be 3 new IPOs. Nope, 2 new IPOs. Chorus Life Sciences and Slide Insurance Holdings. So we'll be interested to see what these names are, and how can we make that sweet cheddar cheese on the stocks, baby. Okay, watching for continued strength tomorrow on AMD. Yes sir, that's for sure. CoreWeave, LMT, basically talked about all the stocks on the center point watch list over here. Trying to remember if there's any other hot names from the day today that I heard my friends trade or talk about. Oracle, a stock from last week, currently taking a breather. This is a little extended, right? This is a normal large cap stock. This is a little extended for it. Not expecting the stock to keep going crazy, so potentially on pullbacks we can look for some dip buy opportunities, but there is no real day 4 day trade setup on this, so not really as high as an important name tomorrow. Tesla and the large cap names, we always like to take a look at these names. Tesla potentially giving you an opportunity to join back on the trend. This is the trend at the moment. Once we do get back above 335, I think Tesla is not stopping at that point, to going to what, 336, going to 400 or even higher. So this right here, this is basically your action that you want to take a read into. So finding buyers anywhere above the 200-day moving average is bullish, but as long as we go all the way back down here and find support still above this area, in my opinion, that's still very bullish. The midpoint of this days is 299, let's just say 300. So as long as above 300, still bullish. So what you could do is wait for Tesla to pull back and buy the dips using these as your stops, and if that breaks, you have to take your loss. But if those stops don't have bother you, and Tesla actually continues to build energy in this area, breaks out of this area, then there's a lot of moves that we can take advantage of on this name if market actually keeps going back higher. So tomorrow, expecting a dip buy across the board. We'll see how this whole latest tweet from Trump is going to play out on the overall market, how the stocks pull back. We're already seeing a wide market back pullback on that tweet, but we've seen how buyers are eager to buy positions, especially on any pullback. They want to buy the dip, they want to be involved in the market, and they're not too worried about Middle East tensions. Clearly they've shown that they're not too worried about Middle East tensions with the way that they bought up over the weekend. But maybe, I guess you could say, the weekend was quiet. The weekend wasn't as loud as we thought it could have actually ended up being. So weekend was quiet, and now we're seeing noise pick back up again. So hopefully it's just noise, and it's not actually anything worse than noise that we have to deal with on the market, and actually in real life also, right? This is people's lives that matter over here. that we have to keep an eye out for. Cody up 60% on reports that company is exploring a possible sale. Cody, what's the price that they're expecting? Ah, come on, this doesn't matter. What a useless stock to have on your watch list. Robinhood, Palantir, Tesla, Amazon. I already talked about how Amazon had a nice pop today, but probably gave it back all the move in the after hours. Still above the 200-day moving average, so I still like the fact that this name is in my account at the moment. Anything else that for a day trade that you guys can really think about that moved around today? Let me quickly go through some of the chats over here in Discord, see what people were trading. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla. Nvidia did break 145. Palantir broke 140. People were trading Oracle, Circle. So I guess nothing out of the ordinary that my friends group were trading today. And small cap names in general, INDO, HUSA, these names that recently popped up from the HUSA, HUSA, yeah. Recently popped up from the whole Iran tension, will obviously be on watch again tomorrow because they're most likely going back up. XOM, possibly another one to keep an eye on. CVX, another one to keep an eye on, but CVX is below the 200-day, so I would much rather keep an eye on XOM at the moment. Oxy, but didn't Warren kind of get rid of Oxy, so honestly I might just be involved with XOM instead. So RTX, XOM on watch again tomorrow. Bitcoin, let's quickly talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I mean, I don't want to be too bearish on Bitcoin, but actually there is no reason to be bearish on Bitcoin. This is showing you buyers in a higher area, and this kind of looks like a nice cup and handle if anything. So we got a potential breakout and a bigger move to the north side on Bitcoin, which would be absolutely insane. So 112,000, we'll see if that actually plays out eventually. At the moment, the fact that buyers are coming up higher than previously in previous resistances turning into support, exactly what you want to see on this name. And you know, Bitcoin's looking good. Bitcoin's looking good. I sadly don't know how any of the other cryptocurrencies are looking good, so you might want to keep an eye out for those too. But Bitcoin is looking pretty damn bullish. So that means IBIT, MicroStrategy, Coinbase. Oh man, MicroStrategy, don't tempt me. Coinbase with a nice pop over here. Look at the move on Coinbase today. MicroStrategy kind of tempting me with that little area, 394, 400. I mean, once that area breaks, that might be a very good day trade and a monster swing trade also for you to take advantage in. The fact that, again, buyers are showing up, 50-day moving average is catching up. If you were to put, you know, previously we did this exercise, if you were to grade the slope of this moving average on 0 to 10 on a bullish scale, this would be somewhere around 5, 4, or even 6, right? Somewhere between 4 to 6. The scale, I would kind of give this between 4 to 5 more. The 6 could potentially go a little bit steeper, and then, you know, it could go even crazier. So somewhere between 4 to 6 is the steepness of this curve for MicroStrategy, which is very bullish. And now you got the 50-day moving average, which is kind of in the 5 to 7, or maybe a little bit lower. Maybe this could be upgraded to 6, actually. I don't know. Anyways, the whole idea is kind of getting used to grading the moving averages and understanding how bullish the chart actually is. And this one is quite bullish. And if we actually see buyers are stepping up into the lower end of the daily Bollinger Band, buyers are stepping up into the 50-day moving average, which is actually getting caught up to the lows of the stock, I think that breakout is imminent. And once we do get that breakout, I'm interested to see how buyers can set up for a bigger move to the upside. That's also the earnings moving average, so it's a multi-level confluence at this point to look for that beautiful breakout opportunity on this name. So 100% watching 392 to 395 on MSTR. Come on, MSTR, you can do it. Obviously might need Bitcoin to kind of give it that oomph, and MSTR and Bitcoin have been a little dislocated recently, but I think with the way MicroStrategy is trading sideways and Bitcoin is also trading sideways, they are catching up, and once Bitcoin breaks out through 112, I can see MicroStrategy being a very good day trade and a swing trade. Obviously, guys, trading comes with a lot of risk. You know, you can lose money. You can also make tons of money, but at the same time, you can lose tons of money on the market. So make sure that you are consulting your financial advisors, because I am not one. I'm just a day trader, not a financial advisor. I'm only telling you guys how I am looking at stocks in my perspective and how I would be trading them if I was to be putting money in the name. So, you know, that's a quick little disclaimer for anyone tuning in. Make sure that you're contacting an actual financial advisor for actual financial advice. QUBT, we kind of talked about all these other stocks. Not sure if there's anything else I kind of can talk about. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about HIMS because I found this chart on Twitter today. HIMS looks like a pretty good breakout pattern on the daily chart, so potentially worth keeping an eye on for a swing trade and a daily trade. That's a nice little base forming over here too. Previously a little extended, but now not really as extended, so worth watching HIMS for sure. And my problem with this name is it's one patent failure away from going back to the downside, you know, and it is a highly short squeeze name. I think it's got like a 30% short float, so that does make it very exciting for the long side. 30% exactly, woo! So that does make it very exciting for the long side, but you know, I guess it's worth watching. It's worth watching. I'm not gonna shit talk about it. It's worth watching for sure, and we'll see if there is a trade that sets up on this one for there we go, for a day trade and for a swing trade if it eventually breaks out. But besides that, honestly, a little unprepared today, chat. A little unprepared because I didn't trade and I also didn't make my watch list. China calls on its nationals to leave Israel. Yo, what's going on here? Loud blast heard in Tel Aviv 6 minutes ago. Trump says he has to be back in Washington as soon as I can. Missile alerts across central Israel. Israel detects new missile launch from Iran. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham says, with reference to President Trump, Iran played the same old game with the wrong guy. China calls its nationals to leave Israel. Massive explosion in Parchin near Iran's capital of Tehran. Dude, this is popping off. Shit's popping off over here, and clearly market's probably opening at 0 tomorrow. Close the market! Close the market! There is no reason to open the market tomorrow at all. Let me actually see if shit's popping off or if people are just bullshitting us, chat. I don't see shit. People be lying. I mean, it's possible my street cams aren't showing anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching street cams. I don't see much. But shit's popping off. China's telling its nationals to leave Israel. You hear a loud blast in Tel Aviv. You hear a loud blast in Iran. So just expect the market to continue going lower. There's nothing else expected over here. But so far, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, pray for people's lives, okay? Looks like we might just be heading into a full-blown war over here. Not fun. Not fun at all. Not fun for my market. Not fun for the stock, my portfolio. The source of global north has crashed. Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. It's just the feed crashed, but the feed's back up. Watching some YouTube 24/7 cams over here, trying to see if we can spot anything. Trying to see if we can spot any craziness, because if we do, that might just be a trade over there to be involved in. Oil longs, defense longs, and overall VIX long tomorrow. And then we'll see how Trump and news comes out. So make sure you're listening to the news, and obviously buy the dip. Buy the dip is all I can say. Buy gold and SQQ. Yeah, that's all we can say too, TH. Buy SQQ, buy gold, buy RTX, buy XOM. I mean, this is so sad. This is so sad. What are we fighting over, man? Market was so close. So close to all-time high, and Trump and Elon screwed it up, and then Iran and Israel screws it up. You just can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. This week we also have FOMC, by the way. We are not expected to have an interest rate decision change at all. Interest rates are expected to be at the same rate, and given the whole Middle East tension, I don't think interest rates are going to change by any means. They're probably going to be saying the exact same. So keep an eye out for that. I think interest rates are now expected to change in 29th of October instead. Yes, the 29th of October has a higher expectation. So we'll just have to wait a little bit longer. But the FOMC interest rate decision that we have this week, which is on the 18th of June, no interest rate decision. On the Thursday, the market's closed for Juneteenth. The market's closed for Juneteenth. And then the market's back open on Friday. So that means tomorrow? Yeah, I think tomorrow will basically be the final stream of the week, sadly. So make sure you tune in tomorrow to talk about the IPOs on Wednesday. That sucks. Maybe I'll spin up the stream on Thursday to talk about the market for Friday. But you know, Thursday market's closed. Wednesday, I don't have anything to talk about for Thursday. So basically tomorrow will be the final stream of the week, sadly. And if there is anything to talk about on Thursday, I might just post a video. Pray for people's lives in Tel Aviv. Pray for people's lives in Iran. And obviously pray for your own portfolio. Pray for your own market. Juneteenth, I'm guessing you're off. Yes, obviously nothing for me to do on that day. So that is that. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck on the markets tomorrow. Kill it. Make some money. And I'll see you guys next time. TraderPrad out. Peace. Did we actually peace out? Big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.